So the first half of Xbox Game Pass June games have been revealed and they are looking good. Thumbs up guys so we can find more Xbox gamers out there to join our fast new growing community. Let's start this off with what I feel is a pretty hype game in Chorus. This is a game that I actually reviewed myself personally on another channel. This is an amazing space combat shooter. It's super fast paced, intense dogfight battles, and an awesome single player story that's very interesting as you take on Nara trying to destroy the people who created her and they're hunting her down. The game also has some of the best visuals for a game to come out last year in 2021. This was one of my favorite games of last year as well. It's now available on Game Pass, or will be available on Game Pass on June 7th. Now, true to the Assassin's Creed franchise and the 10th installment in Assassin's Creed Origins, bringing on a full story here, certainly a little more serious than compared to like Odyssey. It's still a good one though. There's multiple quests, gripping stories you'll be following, and of course tough bosses you'll face. You'll also be collecting loot, progressing your character, and I think you'll really enjoy this iteration in the franchise if you haven't experienced it. One thing that I do want to know, there's actually a new update that just hit where this should now be 60 FPS across all the Xbox Series consoles. So I love that that newest update just hit just in time for Game Pass on June 7th. So For Honor's coming on a Game Pass. This is a pretty deep action sword play type of game featuring a full story campaign if you want to dive into that, but the game really shines in its brutal online PvP modes. The action here really gets intense, fun, very destructive. There's 18 heroes to choose from and 18 maps and PvP modes that do have rank modes with also thousands of gear combinations that you'll be choosing from. There's a lot to digest with this one. This one arrives on Game Pass on June 1st. Jumping to our next game, Disc Room. This is a game by Devolver Digital that has you exploring an expansive ship that has you moving room to room, trying to survive and completing complex puzzles, all the while trying to discover and solve mysterious puzzles that come with this ship. Game comes in with a Metacritic score of 83. Looks pretty gory from what I can tell. This one also hits Game Pass on June 7th. Jumping to the next one, Space Lines from the Far Out is a roguelike co-op management game about airlines in space. Looks like you're going to be running your own airline in randomly generated scenarios every time, where you manage the routes, destinations, space hazards, ship emergencies, and even passenger events. There's going to be new ships to unlock, upgrades, characters, customization. The game does claim you can go seamlessly from single player to multiplayer, and this is a completely brand new game hitting Game Pass on day one. This one also hits on June 7th. Last game today that was revealed is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. This is a collection of the 3 Ninja Gaiden titles. We have Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. This brings the classics from back in the day all in one package, with having the previous game modes, the DLC, and pretty much the gameplay you have loved and remembered. But if you don't know what this series is about, or if you've never experienced it, it's a pretty action, pretty violent, fun game. Also, what I would say is kind of Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing, is I remember these games would get extremely difficult, and I remember I think maybe throwing a controller back in the day. This one arrives on June 2nd. I also wanted to quickly reveal 4 games that will be available with Xbox Live Gold, and those with Game Pass as well. Avon Colony, Project High Rise, and a couple of Xbox 360 games in Super Meat Boy and Rascals. With that guys, here's a list of the games leaving the middle of the month on Game Pass. Check the screen, and if you guys want to know more about what games are coming this summer and later this year, some big games, click the video on the top left.